me see if that's a potion. Yeah, it's still on track.
Time to fight.
Fire and flash!
I'm just going to spam more of this, like when it happens, just basically one-shot things and move on. But I think I don't count as winning the encounter until I do, so I think I get nothing if I was to keep running here. Yeah, see, if you just rely on like purely magic or attack and Torgal, even at level 19, I end up doing what I said I wouldn't do. Yeah, the iconic abilities just make a massive difference. If you rely on like brute force and just thinking, okay, I'm like 12 levels higher, I can just smack it with normal attack and it will die. Even level 19, like wasps and shit, they're not dying to it, so... There he is.
Hi. If it ain't the lad who saved my life. What brings you to a place like this?
You do, Bernard. Martha said I might find you here. I have a proposition for you.
Oh, do you now? Building a workshop, you say? Well, that beats tacking boards to bridges, sure enough. And if Martha didn't mind me being gone a while, then neither do I. You just tell me where you want me.
That's the spirit.
I couldn't ask a favor, though, could I? Before we go?
Of course.
Well, that there is Cressida, where I grew up. Ain't much left of it now, though. Except my parents' graves. But I came up here hoping to visit. I even patched up the bridge to get across. Only to find the place crawling with fiends. But you're a dab hand when it comes to dealing with beasts and bogles, ain't you? Any chance you could,
It's the least I can do.
Well, thank you kindly. And take care.
Okay, just gonna Phoenix Flame everything here. When's it coming back? Yeah, it's coming back. Just a bunch of low down tricksters there. Oh well, they're level 28, so okay, very well. They won't immediately die. Oh, it's stuck behind the bloody.
It's over.
Okay. Hey guys. Yeah, I've run out of stuff now. Okay, the waves continue. Oh, that's a bit of a ambitious entrance. Fuck you. Fuck you. Who do you think you are just bopping in like that? You think you got moves? I got moves. Got moves for days, mate. Yeah, take some of that as well. Yeah, you like that? I mean, it received my full arsenal here, and it's still going. So, fair play, man. 27,000, it still thinks it's... I mean, for a level 28, it's a beast. I gotta give my respect to this guy. It took an absolute walloping. I mean, I've... There it is. Bloody hell. Cool.
That should do it.
You made short work of that lot. Thank you, son. Now my folks can rest in peace once more.
How long is it since the village was abandoned?
Oh, people started packing their things after the duchy fell. Between the Blight and the Imperials, you just couldn't make ends meet. Must be nigh on a decade since the last wagon left. Though it may as well have been a century, looking at the place. This isn't the Cressida I remember.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't be. Can't live in the past, no matter how nice it might have been. Soon as I'm done saying a prayer for those that raised me, it's onto your hideaway. I'll meet you there.
That should take care of Mid's little list. Better head back before she thinks of anything else.
One thing I will say that I've generally enjoyed about the world of this game is how much respect they have for the dead. There's been so many times in this game where things have happened and it's like Clive is like, make sure, you know, they see a proper burial, and like, you know, the dignity that they try to treat the dead with, I think is something pretty interesting. Like it's stuff that they don't really have to do. I don't think many people would notice it if they didn't, but it all helps everything feel a lot more real, and it helps to show, you know, how respectful they are towards it, and how, I mean, it says a lot about Clive too, the importance that he gives to that. So it's something that goes a long way with me.
I'm sorry I ain't been back to see you in so long, but I got some news for you.
Oh,
I'm to be wed.
that's a nice touch. That's cool. But it's the kind of thing that I generally enjoy, kind of seeing how they tackle in games. And it's, I remember the last time I think I made a particular mention of it was Horizon Forbidden West. They have these like seed pouches that every person is given. I think it's given when they're born, and they carry it with them their whole lives. And when they die, basically like it's like a ritual to sow the seeds from their seed pouch, so that, you know, they can still bring in new life even after their death. I thought it was like really touching, and it's a really nice way to, you know, it's like a nice metaphor for life and death. I thought it was pretty cool. Right, I think that concludes things here. Totally forgot that this little bit existed, to be honest. We found that one funky, like, fallen chest, if you guys remember. I don't think I've seen another one of that type. A bit random. I'm sure we'll see more, but for now. One final item, and then we walk back to the hideaway. Okay, we have picked up so many of those shits, and I feel like we haven't used them at all. Okay, so far at least, I don't think I've missed anything. It's been, in that respect, it's been a 100% run. But it's probably like, you got to do New Game Plus and do Final Fantasy mode and, you know, get this score and that score to get, like, all the trophies and shit, so... that's a whole different thing.
The Litlands have been up to their old tricks again.
No more new hunts and nothing. So yeah, we are going to move on to see mid. Ah, I see. They had that bit. Yeah, the bit that I explored, I was kind of curious about, like the spirally bit at the top. I'm not surprised that they put it to use now. It makes more sense. And there was a bit that was previously locked to me. And of course the whole like Ultima Josh thing, like Joshua thing. Joshua didn't appear.
Thank you, Sid, for coming back to us. You're the glue keeping this place together.
Yeah, so Joshua didn't show up at all, neither did Ultima. But the guy who saved Kupka called him Mythos.
Shouldn't you be getting some rest?
So that's the only hint we got, but it's quiet.
All right, Clive, you've all done then?
I am. I've placed your various orders, and a carpenter by the name of Bernard is on his way from Martha's Rest.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Clive.
Is there anything else you need?
Nope. Blackthorn and Lady Karen have already sent over everything I asked for, and I've got all my plans drawn up. So as soon as Bernard gets here, we can get to work. I can't wait.
Cool. I am interested to see what she's going to cook up. 290. Was that enough? Or was it 295? What is this? Yeah.
That's my good deed for the day done. Let's see how Jill's faring.
All in a day's work.
Did Bernard say how long he was going to be? I mean, it's fine, but I hope he comes soon.
Oh, okay, we've got a new set quest. For now, I will go to Jill first. See, that's the problem for me, because this whole mid thing was already a bit side questy. It feels like side quest on top of side quest, if that makes sense. So I'm not as motivated right now.
Clive.
Talia, how's Jill?
Recovering, but she still needs her rest.
Of course. Take good care of her, won't you?
I'll do my best. Oh, Gav was looking for you. He said he had something to show you in the shelves.
Yes.
The shelves. Ah, that's right. He went to ask Harpocrates about Torgal. He must have found something.
Okay, I guess we didn't really see much of Jill at all. Since he's literally right here, let's speak to Roddy. What?
You have the look of a man with the twins upon his shoulders, Rodrigue.
Okay.
Talia has tasked me with removing a Cursebreaker's brand. But it's my first time and I don't think I can do it. I'm afraid of what happens if I fail. You survived, I know, but near as many die as recover. Is it really worth the risk?
You don't need me to answer that. You know full well what we're fighting for. I hope as much as you that one day bearers can walk among others as equals. But until that day, a brand is a burden, and we must lift that burden in order to go undetected. The operation may be dangerous, but it's also essential, and we undergo it willingly.
I know. I still wish there was some other way. But griping about my lot helps no one, I suppose. Don't worry. I'll do what must be done.
I know you will.
Unfortunately, the first thing that needs doing is the preparation of a draft to dull the pain. Something I can't do with the infirmary's ammonia supply so low. What few leaves we have would barely be enough for removing a splinter, let alone a brand.
I nearly fell asleep while I was talking.
Just tell me what you need.
You'll go? Oh, thank you. No one knows Herblord like Taya, and she swears by ammonia for easing pain. It's simple enough to find, if you know where to look. And fortunately for you, I do. Along the river near the village of Amber over in Rosaria. Just search for the bright blue blossoms.
Yeah, we need 350 plus points to unlock the next thing, so I don't know, maybe I should skip the other thing as well, possibly. Ammonia near Amber. Alright, let's trigger this guy off too.
Yeah. What's everyone whispering about?
And then we're going to find out what's going on with Torgal and how we can use that in battle. Doris.
Do you have a moment, Sid? A team of curse breakers has gone missing near Northreach.
Which team?
Coles. They were sent to liberate a carriage of bearers before they could be smuggled to market. They were moving in for their assault when the carriage was attacked by goblins. A curse breaker managed to release a Stolas amid the confusion, but this was days ago. They should be back by now, but I've heard nothing from any of them. I can't help but worry that...
They know the work is dangerous. But I'm sure they're fine.
But what if I've got them all killed? Before they go out, I always remind them why we're doing this, what they escaped, and what we're freeing people from. But I never really thought how my words might affect them. What risks they might take because of the things I've said.
I'll go and find them. We'll both rest easier knowing they're safe.
Thank you, Sid. And I'm sorry to trouble you with this. The plan was to intercept the slaver somewhere in the Dragon's Eyrie. I can't tell you much more than that, I'm afraid.
That should be enough to go on. If they were there, Torgal will track them down.
So one thing I do have to address is that a few times I mentioned in the story that I didn't really understand why, if being a bearer and having the brand is such a horrible thing, which we obviously as we play we found out is, why don't they just work harder to cover it up? Like, how hard can it be? Because obviously to me it just looks like a tattoo. It just looks like some kind of tattoo that they forcibly put on these people. Doesn't look like a scar, it just looks like a tattoo. So I was like, it's a bit odd that it's literally like basically like a death sentence for a lot of people.
White as a sheet
or like a, you know, you're going to be a slave your entire life, and everyone just seems to be walking around with their brand. So I found that a bit weird. But this whole idea of it being that difficult to remove, I kind of get. Cover up is obviously what I was thinking of, and I still think that's the case to some degree. But it's nice that they address that and that it's so difficult to remove.
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgal. Where did you get him, like, in the first place?
My father brought him back from one of his expeditions into the Northern Territories. They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cries, and seeing no sign of his pack, they took him in.
What do you reckon, Tomes?
It certainly adds weight to the theory. Clive, I believe that Torgal may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf, an animal native to the far northern reaches of Valisthea. In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf who served as guardian to an ancient queen of the north. Such was his mastery over ether, he could cast magics on command. His name was Fenrir.
There you go.
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories and her faithful hound. One awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other...
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers?
What?
Just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards to Kingdom Come, Jill would have been for it.
Quite. Though Torgal's power is his own, his latent birthright as a Frostwolf. It had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal.
You're an even finer hound than we thought.
And regarding your original concern, you need not fear for Torgal's health. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
There you are! I've been looking everywhere for you. Bernard's here. I need you to introduce us so we can get to work.
I shall be a moment.
Isn't it brilliant?
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot, starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this world's never seen.
Then I look forward to seeing them. Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
Mid, I need that airship.
Thanks for letting me do this, Clive. I'll pay you back, I promise.
With an airship, yes? Sheesh. Okay. So I found out Torgal's deal. Obviously, the minute I found out that he's got these special powers,
I wish Miss...
my mind went to Fenrir. I think anyone who's played any Final Fantasy would have said the same thing. But yeah, I have been enjoying how rewarding this game has been for people who've played through the series as well. It is one of those things where it keeps you attached to the Final Fantasy element, because yes, there are times where I am playing this game and I still feel like I'm not playing a Final Fantasy game. Like, it happens basically in battle most of the time. But there's a difference between just kind of throwing in references versus really like trying to weave it into like the world and the lore and the narrative and that kind of thing. And I feel like that this game has made a conscious effort to do that. And so, yeah, I do like the way that they've done that. Now, I'm projecting, most likely. My brain is a bit kind of worried in that sense. As soon as I was like, oh, okay, we got like basically a magic dog from the north that's probably going to be able to do magic spells that are ice related at will. And I was like, fuck, that probably means that Jill's going to die or be absent in the story, one of the two, and basically Torgal's going to take the place of Shiva because she was the one helping us with her ice magic in the field. So Torgal's going to start to play like a double role, potentially. So it does have me worried an extra bit about Jill. I hope nothing happens to her. But yeah, Torgal seems to be kind of being prepped as a replacement for her not being with us anymore. Either be it just because she can't fight anymore or because unfortunately she dies, but we'll have to see.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely in circles. We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected places, but nothing definitive as yet. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalith.
Well, keep at it. If anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
Clive, you could go after a mother crystal, I guess, in the meantime, maybe. I don't know.
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
That is a relief.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
Ah.
For your trouble. It was a pleasure, in hindsight. Uncle Byron? Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens, for your favourite uncle is here!
Yeah, I had the same reaction as Otto. Like, okay, what are you gonna do? Finally, a Mother Crystal. Wow.
The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmecs empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Very good.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmecs will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmecs to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, Your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, Your Radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
What is wrong with that kid, man? She has messed him up already.